The babysitting job from Craigslist. Before we dive into tonight's nightmare, hit subscribe. Trust me, you'll want a light on for this one. I wasn't the type to get scared easily. I'd worked retail at night, lived alone in a quiet apartment, even taken late bus rides without flinching. But desperation does something strange to you. When my rent notice came with a bright red final warning, I did what I swore I'd never do: scroll through Craigslist for quick cash. Babysitting jobs. Dozens of them. Easy money, right? One listing stood out. $180 for one evening. 2 boys. 7 and 9. Simple. The pay was too good. That should have been my first warning. Still, the woman, Chloe, seemed kind over text. Polite punctuation. Warm energy. She said she and her husband just needed a sitter from 5:15 p.m. to around 10. I said yes. Saturday evening came, and the moment my GPS said, "You've arrived," my stomach turned. The house was old, but not the charming kind of old. The windows were boarded unevenly. The porch light flickered like it wanted to go out. And there were no toys outside, no bikes, chalk drawings, soccer balls. For a house with 2 boys, it felt wrong. I knocked. Nothing. Knocked again. Still nothing. I waited nearly a minute before the door finally creaked open. A man stood there. Tall. Skinny. Gray beard down to his chest. Eyes too wide, too bright, like he'd been awake for days. "Come on in, sweetheart," he rasped. "Sorry. Didn't hear ya. Ears ain't what they used to be." I stepped inside. It smelled sour, like damp carpet and metal. Trash everywhere. No photographs on the walls. No backpacks. No color. Just clutter and bare floors. "My wife should be back any minute with the kids," the man said. "Go ahead and make yourself at home." He smiled. But something about it felt stretched, like his face wasn't used to the motion. I walked toward the living room he pointed to, a dim space with a sagging blue couch stained with dark marks I didn't dare investigate. My anxiety clawed up my spine. Babysitting was supposed to feel warm, safe. This felt like sitting inside someone's lie. Minutes passed. The man paced the hallway, muttering to himself. Every few moments he shouted, "Sorry about this. She's forgetful with time." But something about his voice felt rehearsed. Too loud. Too cheerful. Then he entered the room suddenly, scratching his head, smiling wider this time. "You know what? I'm an idiot," he chuckled. "She probably used the basement entrance. Happens all the time. Why don't you head down there? They're probably waitin' for ya." He pointed to the door across the room. A door I hadn't noticed before. The basement door. Cold washed over me. Every instinct screamed no. But he just stood there, pointing, waiting. I nodded quietly and walked toward it. Not because I believed him, but because I needed him to think I did. I cracked the door open. Pure darkness. No light switch. The smell hit me hard, rot, mold, something metallic. There were no voices. No footsteps. No children. I stepped back. He was still behind me, watching. That was enough. I didn't think. I ran. Bolted straight to the front door. Locked. I fumbled wildly, hands shaking, unlocked it, and sprinted to my car. Behind me, I heard him shouting, words I couldn't understand. I didn't look back. Not once. When I finally stopped driving, miles away, I called the police. They said they'd handle it. I never heard anything again. Maybe there were kids. Maybe there weren't. Maybe I saved myself from the worst night of my life. But deep down, in the quiet moments, I know the truth. I wasn't supposed to walk out of that house. The man in the couch pickup. A week after the babysitting incident, I swore I'd stay far away from Craigslist. But moving out of my old apartment meant I had to get rid of furniture fast. Junk removal companies wanted more money than I even had. So I caved, again. I posted. Free couch, pick up anytime. Within minutes, nothing. Hours? Still nothing. A day passed. No luck. Then, finally, a man messaged me. Hey, I'm KJ. I can pick up the couch tonight. His grammar was stiff. His profile picture was blank. But he seemed enthusiastic, overly enthusiastic. I told him my schedule, expecting him to disappear like the rest. Instead, he replied, Great. I'll come right after your shift. That alone felt off. By the time I pulled into my driveway that night, a dark sedan was already parked in front of my house. Engine cold. Headlights off. Windows tinted black. No one inside. My first thought. He's early. Too early. I unlocked my front door slowly, half expecting someone to jump out. But the house was silent, just how I left it. I texted KJ. Hey, are you here yet? No response. 10 minutes passed. Still nothing. I chalked it up to coincidence, until the sound came. A faint thud. Upstairs. My heartbeat froze. I lived alone. Every cell in my body screamed to leave, but I forced myself to stay still, listening. Silence. Then, heavy footsteps. Running. Directly toward the stairs. I stood paralyzed in the hallway as a man sprinted down my staircase, bolted to the front door, yanked it open, and fled outside into the night. His movements were frantic, stumbling, sloppy, like he'd been startled too. He dove into the sedan and sped off so fast the tires screeched. By the time my brain caught up, he was gone. My house was still. The thudding footsteps echoed in my mind. I felt sweat dripping down my back. I finally picked up my phone and dialed 911. The dispatcher listened, calm but serious. Ma'am, stay on the line. Did you get a description? No, he ran too fast. My phone vibrated. Another text. From KJ. On my way soon. Picking up the couch after 9. My blood went cold. The man inside my home wasn't texting me. The man texting me wasn't inside my home. Which meant someone else had been in my house before I even got home. When the police arrived, they checked every room. Nothing was stolen. No drawers opened. Nothing disturbed. Almost as if the intruder wasn't there for my belongings. But for me. They traced the number KJ used. It wasn't connected to any real person. Burner phone. No identity. No address. Just a ghost of a name. As officers left, one of them paused in my doorway. People use Craigslist as a hunting ground sometimes, he said quietly. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong person sees your listing. He didn't finish the sentence. That night I barely slept. Every floor creak made my heart race. Every shadow felt like a silhouette. I kept thinking about the timing. The parked car. The footsteps. The man running, not creeping, not sneaking, but running. Whatever scared him was upstairs with him. To this day, I replay the moment the sedan took off, the brake lights flashing red in the dark like some warning sign I failed to understand. That man wasn't terrified of me. He was terrified of what he saw inside my house. Something I never found. Something that might not have left. The boy who followed me home. By the time fall rolled around, I didn't trust anyone. Not babysitting clients. Not strangers on Craigslist. Not even text messages. But school? School always felt safe, until the day Keith noticed me. I never spoke to him. Never sat near him. Never shared a class project. He was the quiet kid who drifted through hallways like a shadow, not bullied, not popular, just there. A face you never remember, standing exactly where you didn't expect him to be. The first time he stared at me, it was subtle. Second period. I felt that prickly feeling of being watched, and when I looked up, his eyes were locked onto mine. Not blinking. Not smiling. Just watching. He mouthed something. I pretended I didn't see. As the day went on, I caught him again in the hallway. then again near my locker. Then outside the cafeteria, always standing still, never talking, just observing. His expression never changed, like he was studying me, memorizing me. I tried telling myself I was imagining it. Until the final bell rang. I walked outside with the crowd, blending in, focusing on getting to my car. I looked once over my shoulder, and there he was, standing at the far end of the parking lot. Unmoving. Facing me. The moment I pulled out of the space, he stepped closer, as if trying to see the plates on my car. My heart hammered, but I drove home, locked my doors, and tried to forget it. Around 9 p.m., my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I know where you live. I almost dropped the phone. Spam, I told myself. A prank. Some misdialed message. Then another came through. This time, a picture. Of me. Walking into school. Taken from behind. A second image arrived. Me walking down the hallway. Also taken from behind. My throat tightened. Someone had followed me. Photographed me. And now they had my number. Before I could breathe, the third message arrived. My full home address. Every light in the house suddenly felt too bright, like I was being displayed on a stage. I turned them all off. Closed every curtain. Locked every window. My mind raced with every horror scenario imaginable. I crept to the living room window just to make sure. And froze. A silhouette was standing in my front yard. Tall. Still. Facing my house. I dropped the curtain instantly and backed away, pulse pounding in my throat. I thought about calling the police, but pride, fear, and stupidity tangled together, and I didn't. Then I heard the door handle rattle. Quiet at first. Then harder. Determined. The lock held. 5 minutes passed. Maybe 10. Then footsteps, slow, heavy, moved across the floor above me. Someone was inside my house. I ducked into the basement and hid under an old desk, the wooden legs pressing into my shoulders as I tried to breathe silently. My shaking hands gripped my phone, but calling now might give me away. My body was trembling so violently I thought he'd hear the floorboards quivering. The basement door creaked open. Light spilled in. Then a deliberate click, the lights switched off again. Darkness. Silence. Then a voice. I know you're down here. Come out. It was Keith. My lungs locked. I didn't move. Not even a twitch. He started walking. Knocking over boxes. Dragging something metallic across the concrete. He stopped directly in front of the desk. Slow breathing. Hot, humid, unhinged. Then he whispered, You had your chance. My eyes adjusted just enough to see the glint of metal. A hammer. Instinct took over. I lunged upward, shoving him back. The hammer clattered away. I sprinted up the stairs, slammed the basement door shut, and locked it. Then I ran, all the way outside and into the street, finally calling the police. They searched the basement. Keith was gone. 2 days later, they told me he'd been arrested miles away. He wouldn't be returning to school. But here's the part that still haunts me. When officers checked my basement window for signs of escape, they found footprints in the dirt. 2 sets of them. Keith's. And someone else's. The second set was larger. Deeper. And led into the woods. Toward nowhere. The police never identified the second person. Sometimes I wonder if it was the same figure the couch intruder saw upstairs. Sometimes I wonder if something has been following me from house to house. And sometimes, when the floorboards creak late at night, I wonder if it ever left.